What's up, everyone? All right, so here we are. I'm finishing my third consecutive green day. It's a $10,000 week, $10,000 in 3 days. Not bad at all. $700 on Monday, $7,000 on Tuesday, $3,000 today. Making some progress. A little bit of a bounce off the lows, which I can feel really good about. And you know what? I'm doing it from Italy. So you can trade from anywhere in the world, as I'm proving right now. Markets are closed tomorrow, 4th of July. Well, I'll be doing some live streaming on YouTube and on Facebook, giving out some educational tidbits for those of you guys who are beginner traders. So stay tuned for that. And then, of course, on Friday, I'll be live streaming at 9:15, my pre-market watch list. Hopefully we see a couple of good opportunities and we can cap off this week with one more green day to make it my fourth consecutive green day. And then really, momentum is coming back. So we'll see what happens on Friday and then definitely next week. All right, as always, questions, comments, leave them below, and we'll see you guys first thing on Friday morning and live streaming tomorrow. Hey everyone. All right, so we're going to do our midday market recap here, go over the trades from this morning. This is going to be my third green day in a row, finally. A little bit of a hot streak. 700 on Monday, 7,000 yesterday, 3,000 today. So that's a $10,000 week in 3 days, which is terrific. And really, my goal was to try to make the most of this short week. The market's closed tomorrow for 4th of July. Friday most likely will end up being a bit of a slower day. I don't expect that we'll see a whole lot of momentum. So I will show up. I will be, doing my thing right around 9:15 on Friday morning. Looking at the gappers, trying to put together a watch list, and hopefully trading. But I'm not gonna expect that it's gonna be an amazing day. I expect it might be a little bit choppy. And hey, if we do end up getting some good follow through, then that's awesome. And if we don't, then that's okay too. So this morning, the watch list was a little on the thin side. We didn't really have a whole lot that looked great, which was kind of disappointing. Of course, yesterday we had multiple circuit breaker halts. We had some great action. But then this morning, there really wasn't a lot on the scans that looked that great. So FCell was our leading gapper, up 60%, which is a huge gap, 27 million share float. But the main problem with FCell is that it is simply too cheap. So, it's below $1. It's just not the type that I would trade. And so just going to, basically leave that alone. And that's what I said on the watch list. It's interesting, but I didn't really think it had a whole lot of potential. So, in fact, it has traded this whole morning within like a 20-cent range. Of course, that's a 20% range, but for me, it's just not really worth it. So nothing on that. Next one, OSS. This one ended up popping up, as you can see on this 5-minute pattern, but it didn't really hold its levels very well, faded back down. I basically on that one said, I'm going to wait for it to prove itself to me rather than jump on it, too early on. I'm just going to, be a little bit more cautious. And so that ended up being the right move there as well. Yuma was one of the next ones down. This is a reverse split today. And I did jump in it, made only about 500 on it, 474. And I took 9,000 shares. I really had higher hopes for this one, but it didn't hold up very well. I bought it for a red to green move right in here. Out of the gates, it kind of popped up and dropped back down, pulled back a little, and then I bought for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high, thinking that if it broke over 50, that we would squeeze back up to the high a day, which is 386. So I got in anticipating the break over the $0.50. We broke, but not very well. And as soon as we saw a big seller at 60, I just hit the bid and bailed out, made about 5 cents per share on it. So a small winner on that one. But that was off the watch list. So, $400 is not bad. And then SXTC, this wasn't on my watch list. I wasn't watching this one this morning, but I saw some other people call it out. There was a headline on it. It's a Chinese pharmaceutical company. This sort of, the combination of China sector and pharmaceutical, and sometimes we do see good follow through on both sectors. So when they're combined, that can sometimes be the perfect storm. This stock also has a history of being a former runner, squeezing over the course of 3 days after the IPO from $4 up to about $24 per share, which is pretty impressive. So I jumped in this. It broke this level, and as it squeezed up, I jumped in right around the $0.50 here as it started to pop up. And let's see, where was it? Actually, I added on this at 475, that's right, because we had this pop here, we had this pullback, and then right at 475, we got this move up to $5. Now, on this one, again, I took 9,000 shares. Actually, I got partial fills, but just under 9,000, maybe like 8,000 shares and some change. And, I ended up doing okay on it, $2,500. We popped up to a high of $5, and at $5, there was 20,000 shares seller. And as soon as I saw that seller, I bailed out because I was like, you know what? I don't think this is going to be able to break that level. Right when I got in at 75, I saw a seller of maybe 18,000 shares getting bought up. So I already sort of knew there were some big sellers in the name and the stock, and once I saw that second big seller, I just said, you know what, I'm just going to get out of this thing. So that ended up being the right move. Sometimes that's the wrong move. Sometimes it'll pull back for a second. It'll surge through 5, squeeze up, 525, 530, get halted, and you're like, oh man, I sold too soon. But I'm in a place right now where I'm trying to kind of bounce off the lows a little bit. I had a red week last week, and so this week being up $10,000 is awesome. It feels like a really great rebound, and I'm doing that by taking profits on the early side and being a little bit more aggressive, or maybe that's actually more conservative, a little more conservative about taking my profits quickly. KPTI, I saw this one, squeezed up, got halted on news, resumed at about $7.20 and is now at $9 a share. So we are seeing some momentum in the market, which is great. Not quite as much as I was hoping for, but there's a little bit of action. So markets are closed tomorrow. We're going to have the day off. I'm going to jump on YouTube, Facebook Live. I'll probably do a couple live streams throughout the day, sort of like little short educational streams, little webinar, seminar type things, just to get you guys excited. Those of you who have been sort of sitting on the fence, thinking about becoming a member of the Warrior Trading family, but you haven't done it yet, I want to encourage you to take the leap. In honor of Independence Day, just that's what it's all about, freedom and independence. The fact that you can do this from anywhere in the world. I'm here on the Amalfi Coast, and it's incredible. It's beautiful, and $3,000 of profit on my laptop. What time is it now? It's 5 o'clock. Probably go out to dinner in a little bit and just enjoy the rest of the day. I mean, this is a really, it's a really great life being able to be a trader. But it's only a great life once you're a successful trader. And that long process of learning to trade for me took years. And during that time, I wasn't traveling, I wasn't paying bills, I was falling into debt. I was getting more and more frustrated, watching other people be successful, but something for me was amiss. So ultimately, I was able to find that turning point, and I want to help you guys have that same turning point. So anyways, sounds like it's feeding time for those dogs, and I'm going to get out of here. But I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'll be back at it first thing, live streaming on Friday morning. All right, see you guys on Friday. If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content? Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.